Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of Little Boy Lost by J.D. Trafford, performed by J.D. Jackson. To my wife and my family for all your love, patience, and support. J.D. Chapter 1. It started with a pickle jar, half filled with pocket change and a few dollar bills. The girl came into my office. She set the jar on my desk and sat down in the chair across from me. Her feet barely touched the ground. Her name was Tanisha Walker. "How old are you?" I asked. She sat up a little straighter.
8.5.
Got a daughter about that age? Little older. I leaned over and picked up the jar, examining it. On one side, somebody had written in big block letters with black marker, "Cuss jar." "Your mama know you took this jar?" Tanisha shrugged. The beads in her hair clicked.
Ain't my mama's jar.
She thought about it for a moment, biting a nail, and then elaborated.
It's my granny's, and she won't mind. At least don't think she would. Why should she? Ain't doing nothing except sitting there, and so she...
I held up my hand, cutting off the nervous ramble. Maybe. I put the jar back down on my desk. Guess that depends on what you plan on doing with the money.
Gonna hire you with it.
She was serious.
Like they do on TV.
I took a moment to consider her intentions. It had been a long time since I'd lived the life of a typical lawyer. I certainly wasn't like the ones on television. I didn't have any staff. I answered my own phone and made my own copies. I drove a rusted-out Honda Civic, not a BMW. My suits didn't fit quite right, and my office was located in a half-empty strip of old storefronts on the north side. The storefronts stuck out among the burned houses and vacant lots, like the remaining teeth in a broken mouth. But I wasn't a charity either. I had bills due, and after looking at that pickle jar, I figured that this girl was only going to be able to pay me about $10 for my services. At the moment, I wasn't feeling that desperate. Maybe tomorrow. "Why a lawyer?" I asked. "Right now you should be in school, not hiring lawyers."
My brother's gone missing.
Well, that's an issue for the police. Passing the kid off on somebody else seemed like a fair resolution.
I called the police. Done nothing.
The girl crossed her arms in front of her chest.
They don't care. They're glad he's gone.
"Who'd you talk to?" The girl shook her head.
A white dude.
"Did you file a report?" "What about your mama or your granny? What are they doing?" The girl looked away. She didn't want to talk bad about her mother or grandmother, and I didn't intend to ask her about her father. A little black girl in this part of St. Louis living with her mama and granny, I knew she ain't got no daddy. Then my lawyer brain kicked in. Assumptions made during an initial interview are where most mistakes are made. If she were white, I'd have asked about her daddy straight away. So I forced the question. "Where's your father?" The little girl shook her head.
Don't know.
And that, my friends, was a kick in the gut. Even though it was exactly the answer I had expected, I hated when the stereotype rang true. I leaned toward her, trying to let the girl go gently. "I'm not sure you need a lawyer. Sounds more like you need a detective." That answer did not sit well with the girl. She had come to hire an attorney, and it was doubtful that she was going to leave without some sort of a commitment. St. Louis girls are stubborn like that, especially on this side of 40. The phone rang. I answered on the second ring, hoping it might be somebody with a real legal problem and more than a pickle jar. "Law."